No, fuck that. "3 a.m. Woo! Real hours. Real Silent Hill hours. Who up?" Going back to a topic from before, you know a horror game I want to stream, but it's conditional? Deadly Premonition, obviously. The Switch port got released. And I fucking love Dead Prem. That game is so sick. But the Switch port, like, is almost good, but it's not quite good. And I'm waiting on a patch for the audio problems. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect, because there is no version of Dead Prem that's gonna be perfect. It's never gonna happen. Because Dead Prem is such a fucking busted game, dude. It's never gonna happen. I am perfectly okay with good enough. What's not good about the port? Audio. Audio during cutscenes likes to die. Random voice lines will fail to play. Sometimes the sound effects just shit out entirely and don't come back. Which is, like, a big issue in Dead Prem, because the cutscenes, the dialogue, that's the real soul of the game, is that, and having it, like, cut out at random is really bad. Like, that doesn't give you the proper experience at all. Like, I can take some shitty frame rate during combat, because who fucking cares? You don't play Dead Prem for the combat. But having the cutscenes take a hit is not acceptable. That just isn't... not for Dead Prem. Honestly, dude, I don't really know about, like... I think about that stuff, because I'm really into music games, right? I don't really know how being hard of hearing or deaf affects your experience when it comes to video games, because, like, I consider audio and music to be, like, such an incredibly important part of a video game, like, to the point where I judge pretty fucking harshly on audio. Very harshly. If your game doesn't have, like, a good jam or something, I'm probably skipping. Like, give me a beat. Give me something to listen to. Give me some crunchy sound effects. Like, if it sounds good, it'll feel good. If it feels good, it'll probably play good. That's the punchy logic. And for the most part, this seems to hold up pretty well. Like, rarely does a game sound good, but also suck fucking balls. At the very least, right, I've posited this question a number of times on stream. But I'm going to posit it again, because it continues to be true. Which is that, like, what speed game can you think of that has bad music? Try. Like, what speed game has maintained popularity with a large number of people that has bad music? Or bad sound in general, I should say. Sounds terrible and has bad music. Like, it doesn't really happen. Because the music is what keeps a fucker coming back. Okay, like, I agree with both of you on Ocarina of Time and Mario 64. I'm gonna dig my ear canals out of my face if I ever have to listen to the fucking slider theme ever again. But clearly we're in the minority on that one. Pokemon games where you spend most of the time in red health count? Possibly, but those games do have good music when you can hear it. Or at least it has, I don't know, like, iconic music or something. Like, I'm not actually that crazy about anything in Pokemon games. I think Pokemon music is a bit, like, like 6 out of 10 at large. It can rise above sometimes, but it's very rarely given like room to breathe. That's what I think, at least. I mean, that's how I feel about a lot of Nintendo games in general, as far as their soundtracks go, but people are clearly into it because of the music. Like, I know lots of people who are very into the music of those games, even though I think that's one of the reasons I actually don't get along with them very much, relative to, like, the incredible fervor with which they're revered in speedrunning, is because I just don't like their music that much. Like, this happened with a number of games, I think, that I bounced off of, and I'm gonna... The recurring theme with this is that I bounce off these games and I also didn't give a shit about their soundtracks. Like, I think a lot of, like, recent indie titles where people, like, go fucking gaga over the music, but I, like, kind of just bounced off it. I felt the same way about the music. Like, I'm thinking Shovel Knight, I'm thinking Hollow Knight. I bounced off those games completely, and I also bounced off their soundtracks. Whereas a good beat will fucking stick. That's actually one of the reasons I find the Sonic franchise extremely frustrating. And is one of the reasons that me, like a dipshit, I keep going back to it, because it generally has pretty good music, but almost all of those games are awful. You see, arguing with me about the Shovel Knight OST is a waste of time because I can't remember any of it. That's half the problem, is that I hear a piece of music from it and I forget it almost immediately. It does not stick with me. It bounces. It's gone. And that's how I feel about the game in general. It bounced off me completely. I don't remember any of it. I've finished that game, I think. I did it again. Hooray, I hit 23 again. I'm so good at hitting this frame, dude. Yeah, everyone's got different musical taste, right? Like, that's normal. But I think that has a larger effect on whether or not I like a game. I think it has a much larger effect on how people like games than anyone really wants to admit. You need a hot fucking tune. Like, think of a game you like. It probably has good music. It's all about, in the end, it's all about that. Like, good music won't save a bad game, but bad music can seriously damage, like, a good one. Right? Like, good music can elevate a good game into, like, being fondly remembered. Whereas, like, mediocre, forgettable music can, like, cause a game that's otherwise, like, good enough to kind of, like, pass by. It's a real important thing. Sound design and your music. That shit'll stick with people for a long fucking time. Is Baba a counterpoint? Baba has perfectly fine music. I actually quite like a lot of Baba's music. It's somber and atmospheric, but it suits the slower paced puzzling better. And also it establishes a relevant atmosphere. It can get a bit droning sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's a couple of pieces where it's like, okay, like, at least one of the pieces in that game has this weird high-pitched noise in it that I think is just annoying as fuck. But Baba Is You is not a game that was ever going to benefit from having an explosive soundtrack, you know? Like, Baba Is You has okay music. Like, yeah, it's serviceable. It's not bad, though. It could be better. Baba Is You could definitely have better music. But it's like a solo dev game, and I think he did all of it himself, and music is, like, clearly not necessarily his strong point. He's not terrible at it. Like, it's fit for purpose. I think the worst example that I can think of like a game having like a piece of music that actually just straight up pissed me off was the Binding of Isaac remake, Rebirth. The cave's music had this fucking beeping noise in it that sounded like a microwave ding. And it was intensely distracting. To the point where I actually modded it out. Like, that ding pissed me off so much I changed the fucking audio files. Well, having good music doesn't, like, guarantee that your game will be remembered as a timeless classic, but not having good music almost certainly guarantees that it won't be. Yeah, they should have kept Danny B. They really should have. A lot of games of that era, I notice, have, like, the one track that slaps really fucking hard and made huge waves. But the rest of the soundtrack is, like, pretty whatever, and no one really cares about it. I had a thing going a while back where I was, like, looking through playlists of soundtracks and picking the one song that had significantly higher views than everything else. In the case of The Binding of Isaac, it was My Innermost Apocalypse. Which is funny, because that's the final fucking boss theme of that game. Like, you have to get super deep to hear that song. I'm also a dork who memorizes song names, like, by their actual titles rather than, like, where they play. Most people just like, this is the boss theme. I'm like, this is My Innermost Apocalypse. This is the name of the song. Consider DuckTales NES, right? It's the Moon theme. It's the Moon theme by a landslide. It's the Moon theme. The guy who fucking scored that game is just the Moon theme guy now. That's his lasting legacy as a composer, is the DuckTales Moon theme. Boy. Right, but on a similar note, consider Meat Boy, right? Everyone remembers, or at least they heard, the Battle of Little Slugger. The first boss theme of that game. I don't think anyone remembers a single other piece of music from that game. I think it's just that one. Or in more recent times, Hat in Time initially had a trailer that had some music that it was definitely music. But then everyone latched onto Your Contract Has Expired. That was like the clear winner of the soundtrack. So the second trailer they made, they used that track instead. Papers, Please? Papers, Please has good music. It's not something I'd listen to outside of its context, but I can fucking hear the brass in my head. I can hear it now. It's not music I'd listen to outside of its native context, but Papers, Please absolutely has memorable soundtracks. Papers, Please did have music. It had a theme. And you will, it's a pretty memorable theme if you ask me. It sets the tone very well. Music, 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 music. Love to have good music.
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
It's all about music, man. Yeah, name a popular speed game with bad music. Not really a thing. And a solid soundtrack will absolutely save a game that people aren't... Like, Street Boys is a prime example of this. That game is like 6 out of 10 at best. But Street Boys' soundtrack fucking slaps. It's really, really good for no reason. It has no reason to be as good as it is. It's got sick fucking just mad guitar riffs. It's like, why? This goes way too hard for how dumb this is. And it was an instant hit at ESA because of that. Because we were like, what's this dumb fucking game called Street Boys? And we booted up and we were like, oh, this is sort of like an okay beat 'em up style thing. And then we like crank the sound up so we can hear it and we're like, holy shit. These are some beats. Yeah, I mean, that's like a personal and subjective thing, but like clearly they got into it because they like the music. Like, I will cop to the fact that I'm pretty sure a good, like, maybe 50% of the reason I run The World Ends With You, besides the fact I think that game is, like, wonderful and brilliant, is because the music fucking slaps. Like, I will never get bored of that goddamn soundtrack. And I never have. I never will. I've been listening to it for, like, literally a decade. Such good fucking music, dude. Well, yeah, but it does happen every other game, but that's what I'm saying. People get into those games because they like the music. It appeals to... The music clearly appeals to someone. The thing is that I think going like, oh, by the way, you guys should listen to this music, it's a hot one, is probably, like, not a good idea on commentary, even if you do think it's true. Because you can't really hear the music that well at a speedrun marathon. And it's also, like, you know, music in a game is very contextual. And the impact of it is often a bit blunted by you not experiencing it directly. You find it more likely a bunch of them got into the game and later the music burned into their brains. That's definitely a possibility, and probably correct. I have fucked that up. Oh, that was an input drop. That's a bad one. That's plausible, especially in the case of the fucking slider theme. 7817. Like, you are right, repeated exposure to music does make you like it more. As dumb as that sounds, it's like a real thing. And the game is doing a stupid. Yay, I love it when it does that. You can't use that here, says the game, as I approach the only place in the game where you can use the thing. Like, that's actually one of the reasons why repeating melodies throughout the course of a game's soundtrack is so effective. Like, the final boss theme is the main theme, but played in a higher key. It's like a musical cheat code. Like, if you do that shit, I'll fucking love it. I'll get so into that shit. It's like, it's the same song, but it's in a higher key. I love it. I love that shit. Because I'm a fucking predictable dickhead. Once you notice that, you'll see it everywhere. Just repeat the same like Undertale did that a lot. So many of the songs have the same core melody, just remixed. And then when people find out about it, you know, like the fandom goes like, "Whoa, it's crazy! It's all connected. It's all symbolic." And I'm like, it's melody reuse. It's melody reuse, guys. It's musical frugality more than it is like genius narrative connection. But it gets people to like the music because they're technically hearing the same thing over and over again, just mixed differently. And that works. It's provably effective. Which, by the way, I'm not saying Undertale's music is not good, because it is. It's very good. I like it a lot. I'm just saying that, like, he is exploiting the shit out of that loophole in human psychology. I love the 360 that happens there. Man, okay, I'm sticking with the UFO ending, I guess, because I could be like -6 at this point. Hello, busty kids. I don't know how the menuing works in this category. Yes, I do. Yeah, like, the next time you're scoping out a game, think about that. Pay attention to the music. Think about the audio. I find that to be generally an extremely good giveaway. The runs have been great. I PB'd by like 14 seconds on any percent. I smashed that shit. Like, that's wee out of the fucking park, baby. Fuck, why did you not turn? Fuck you, James. Now I'm doing UFO ending purely because I ran out of ideas. Like, I think I'm reaching the point where I need to play a different game. I'm running out of things to do. Like, I don't want to do normal mode again, even though I could save a lot of time on normal mode still, but fuck normal mode. Normal mode sucks ass. Bed category. I'm enjoying Catherine Full Body. I actually did, like, a speedrun. It was not really a speedrun. I attempted to clear the game as fast as I could while getting, like, gold prizes and stuff and, like, checking out some content along the way. So, like, a fast playthrough more than a speed run. And I quite like Full Body as a run. It's definitely, like, it's a horror game, question mark. But it's a bit different from what I think people are used to. So in the meantime, I want to play River City Girls and, like, hopefully if they eventually patch the Switch version of Deadly Premonition to be, like, not audio busted, then I would like to stream that too. I don't think I'd run Dead Prem because it's kind of long and, like, not the most exciting run in the universe, but I would definitely play it through again. the thing is, I admit that I'm kind of, like, scared to start jumping into, like, normally, in times before, I would have just jumped into, like, a new game that's totally different from my usual, like, survival horror fare without a second thought. I used to do that quite frequently, actually. Whereas, like, now I'm, like, kind of trying to finagle my way into getting Twitch partner, I have to care a lot more about the metrics during this process. When, like, hopefully, if I can fucking be done with it, then I don't really have to, like, stress so much about being behind for one day and it, like, tanking my odds. Hopefully, this is a temporary part of the process, and I will not have to constantly think about, like, oh, I don't like having to factor in if I think people will watch it into my, like, decision to try a new speed game. I hate that. And I'm hoping this is just a temporary phase. I really don't want this to go on for that much longer. Because in the meantime, I could just... It's kind of algorithm-ish, but also sort of people-ish. I don't know, it's like a mixture. So in the meantime, I could just go back to, like, Silent Hill 1 or something. I have some unfinished business there. Namely in that I got knocked down to, like, second place in a couple of categories that I haven't played in a while, so I might as well go update my time. Like, not any percent, because I lost interest in grinding Silent Hill 1 for world record a while back, because the version difference thing is quite annoying. Don't really want to play that on console either. It's like, play the version that's 5 minutes slower for maybe a couple of seconds IGT, question mark, and you'll never know, because the IGT is super fucking unreliable on console versions. Ugh. Along with the out of bounds also being, like, a piece of shit. And I, like, Silent Hill 1 is really, like, deflated for me. Kinda sucks. I don't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I used to, which is why I've played a lot more Silent Hill 2 lately. But I still might go back to Silent Hill 1 for a bit, because I have PBs that I should go and collect. You know what I'm saying? Sticking with the same old while I write out the partner application process. Has the PS1 Alone in the Dark game? You need to be more specific than that. There's a couple of them. How can Punchy be streaming and Zoku isn't in the chat? You know, Zoku sometimes is not in my chat. Sometimes Zoku is doing other things in her life. Sometimes Zoku is watching someone else. It's true, it happens. I feel bad. Somehow I feel like partially responsible for this somehow. Another gold. Like, Zoku is now expected to be here, but like, I don't like that expectation, you know? I know you guys mean it as a joke. But I kind of don't want to play to it, because I feel bad, like, taking ownership of Zoku. That feels really weird. I don't like that at all. I don't know, Zoku... The one time Zoku actually wasn't around, everyone was asking, where's Zoku? Where's Zoku? It's true, I haven't done marbles in a while. I've been too focused on my runs, I guess. The marbles was a more frequent occurrence with The World Ends With You because that run was just about the right length for it. Whereas Silent Hill 2 is a lot easier to just run up until, like, my time is done, and then, you know, I cut stream. Like, I use Marble to kill time when I'm not, like, really sure how to conclude a stream. When I'm, like, done with runs at sort of an awkward timing, earlier than I would actually cut stream normally. Whereas that doesn't happen so much with these games. So you'll see marbles a lot less when I'm playing Silent Hill games. If I start doing runs that are like a sort of a weird length, again, like runs that are like, rather than this, which is like about 45-ish minutes, runs that are like more like an hour to like an hour 20, they're more likely to end up with a marble stream. Because I've reached a point where like a run dies like halfway through and I don't really have time to reset and start a new one and finish it, but I do still have like time to kill. That's the time when marbles. That's the time when you bust out marbles. Because I use it as a filler, basically. I will candidly cop to the fact that I use marbles as filler content. Nice input drop. Holy shit. I hate the menus in this game. They are so fucking bad. Oh, I have no... Well, okay, that wasn't as bad as it could have been. Hey, Canada guy. I PB'd any percent by 13 seconds. No, 15. I lie. So now I'm doing UFO ending instead. Because I like, slam dunked the shit out of any percent, so yeehaw. Next. Should the stream title change then? Probably. Not like any of you people notice when I change category, though. How'd I drop from 41 minutes to 36? What does Punch's shirt say? It says, I heart humanity. This is unity. Humanity. Yeah. It's a shirt from an anime. It's the shirt design that the main character of No Game No Life wears. I thought it was a good design, so I bought one. Surprisingly, this is the only shirt I own that has, like, Japanese text on it. Yeah, I sell shirts. That wasn't... This isn't one of my designs, but, like, okay. Yeah, the game saved shirt. That was a really good line, by the way. That was clean. Thinking of getting the naked shirt? Yeah, I don't think I ever actually went through with it, though. I'm bad. Press buttons. The brand shirt, I'm gonna be real with you, is an idea I completely stole off a Lindsay Ellis video. But yeah, I like that shirt. How many times did I just shoot that guy? I wasn't really counting. I mean, it doesn't matter. I got through. Shooting too much is bad. Shooting too little is worse. Therefore, you should actually, like, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. I was not, in fact, paying attention to what I was doing. I have been autopiloting like holy shit during a lot of this stream so far. Silent Hill 2 is a very autopilotable game. I find it very, very easy to just autopilot this. Like, it ain't much to think about. Yo. That was weird as shit, and I didn't like it. Good night, Monday. But it's Saturday. No, it's Sunday now, I guess. For me, at least, it's Sunday. Exactly. I have not slept, therefore it's Saturday. Precisely. Do you think I could do a blindfolded run? Nah, probably not. The control in this game likes to shit the bed if the camera angle changes at a bad time, and that will fuck you. Like, control... Maybe with tank controls it'd be more doable, because then control is relative. Whereas it being, like, absolute to the camera is... Hey, Tasty Bread. Glad you like my commentary. And my runs. Let me murder this guy. Thank you. Egoots! No, my time! My frames! Shit. I really lost time on that, huh? Whack, y'all. Fuck. God damn it. Run away from the speedrunning thread on SA. Run away. Welcome to the horrible goon bullshit. I get mad at that thread a lot because I actually, you know, like, do runs and go to marathons and stuff. There's a lot of people who post in that thread only, like, watch these things online, and they have the habit of trying to explain my own hobby to me. They act like they know things, but they do not know things. And I get mad about this with remarkable frequency. I am like that, unfortunately. Alas, I am mad online. It's one of the only threads I've been in where personal experience and expertise in the field that is being discussed is possibly actually detrimental to holding a conversation. Oh, fuck. That somehow worked. Yeehaw. That was deep, but that worked. That was a fucking deep out of bounds, but that worked. Respect. Ah, what the fuck? That is not how that worked. Well, didn't do that right. Fart noises. Yeah, like I'm a bit of an all sorts person. Like, I've been around a lot of internet communities. I'm from everywhere, which causes everyone to hate me because everyone hates some community or another. Like, I post on something awful, so I'm a goon. Therefore, some people dislike that. But, and I admit this freely because there's really no point in hiding it. I also used to post on the 4chan Speedrun General when that was a thing. When it was very nascent. I haven't posted on it in... It's actually, like, straight up dead now, come to think of it. It turned into a shit show really fast. But in the first couple of years, I was Speedrun General OG. And it's pointless to hide it, because you can fucking find videos of me being in SRG marathons. So, you know, some people think I am a channer, therefore I am not nowadays, but... the association is still there to some people, so some people hate me for that. It's really shitty. I never win. It doesn't matter. When did I start to run games? I don't know. It's been so long. Ah, what did I get stuck on? Fuck. Oh, that was good. That was lackluster. Okay, better. How did I get into speedrunning? It's really boring, actually, but... Okay, so in a broad sense, I've always liked speedrunning as a concept. I would play games... Before I even knew this was, like, a thing on the internet, I would like to replay games, and I would time them myself using, like, a fucking stopwatch. Like, I wrote my times down on a paper notepad. That's how, like, galaxy brain I was. Like, before I even knew speedrunning was a thing on the internet, I was just doing it on my own time for kicks. Like, I was young when I was doing this, too. I was, like... I've done that pretty much since I play games. I would finish a game, and I'd be like, let's play it again, but this time let's time it. And I'd do it with, like, a stopwatch, and I would keep doing it. And it would... Nice camera, bruh! Fuck! By the way, that's a world record. Like another one. I did it again. I did it again. Today is free! Free! Just casually talking shit while I just crap another, like, UFO end world record out. What the fuck, man? I'm on fire.